friends, Diamond Trail Ranch here today with another video on Duckwater Compost Tea, boosting blackberries and banana trees naturally. I just got done doing this and it was absolutely amazing. Your banana trees will thank you, and so will your blackberries. Bananas, obviously, they're not technically trees, they're more like an herb. But did you know that the same dirty water that your ducks swim in and splash in can be one of the most powerful fertilizers for your fruit plants? I mean, that's for real. Duck water isn't waste, it's compost tea. That's like a cool nickname for it. Today, we're going to tell you about how we use that duck water here on the homestead to feed two heavy feeding crops, blackberries and banana trees. Now this isn't a one size fits all. I did used to think that the compost tea was a kind of one size fits all, more or less, but you really want to be careful because some of your plants or bushes like blueberries, they're not so friendly towards a lot of nitrogen like that. When you got your heavy feeders, your bananas, your blackberries, if you got vetiver grass, it can. It might, once it's settled, it doesn't care quite as much. Sugarcane loves duck water. Many. I mean, it is just a fantastic fertilizer. Here you see the ducks. We have lots and lots of ducks. Our duck water is over there, and in our large duck pen. Storm, what are you doing, silly boy? Anyway, compost tea, duck water is a natural, sustainable, great beverage for your plants. It saves you money. You're not spending money on store-bought fertilizers. Stick around. I'm going to tell you how to apply it, how often we do it, the science behind it, of course. Ducks are obviously messy creatures. Wherever they eat, drink, swim, they leave behind manure, right? That manure breaks down in water almost instantly, creates what's referred to basically at that point as the compost tea. Also, let me know in the comment section below, do you think the male ducks are the loud ones or the female ducks? Duck manure is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, micronutrients like calcium and magnesium. It's great. Hi, Chickaroo. That's a rooster if I've ever seen one, boys. He's happy. We got some happy animals here. When you dilute that compost, silly goat, Mr. Moo, you're nuts. Knock down the rake. When you dilute it, it's immediate. Literally, you can use it right away. If you got a large enough tank and you clean it out often enough, you don't have to dilute it quite as much. That way you don't have to wait months and months for compost to break down, leaves, mulch, you name it. Old gardening, permaculture, things like that, which is still fantastic, unless you have like a grinder or something, of course. You can, shredder, push it down. Plants can drink up those nutrients literally immediately, and your bananas and your blackberries will thank you. Blackberries are not to be confused with raspberries and blueberries when it comes to their nutrients and what they need. They are different. Blueberries love acidic soil. Anyway, let's talk about the blackberries, right? Blackberries are very hungry plants. They need strong root systems, thick canes, and steady leaf growth in order to produce those big juicy berries that we all love. Duck water gives them a quick boost of nitrogen to push leafy growth early in the season, while also providing that phosphorus I mentioned and the potassium to support flowering and fruit set later on. I usually pour the duck water right at the base of the blackberry plants and the bananas. That way it can soak into the mulch ring around the roots. You'll notice greener leaves and stronger canes compared to plants that only get just straight up irrigation. Rainwater is great over well. So I would say you would tier your waters: duck water, duck water, rainwater, well water, and then tap. Tap, obviously not a fan, but hey, depending on where you live, if that's all you got, that's all you got. Banana trees are another perfect candidate for duck water because bananas are heavy feeders. They need a lot of organic matter and nutrients to put out those massive leaves and eventually a full fruit bunch. The liquid nutrients in duck water acts like a natural fertilizer tea, and it gives bananas that instant boost. I mean, immediately. Anything that gets, not anything, those guys, the blackberries and the banana trees, once you give them that compost tea, they'll start getting those big, pretty green leaves, right? And what are the leaves on a banana plant, right? It becomes the pseudostem, which it gets it taller and taller, etc. So the result, is that faster leaf production. You get your healthier looking trees, and ultimately you're going to have a better harvest. Here's how you're going to apply it with some tips I got for you. That way you don't overdo it, because duck water is strong stuff. If your pond or kiddie pool is really concentrated, like I said earlier, dilute it with fresh water before pouring it onto the plants, especially if it's young or you just transplanted them. Avoid splashing the leaves because duck water does carry bacteria. Always water the soil at the base of the plant. So you want to pour it in like a ring around the base of the plant. Use it regularly, but not excessively. Blackberries, we'll use it maybe once a week during the growing season. Banana trees, you can give them a soak literally every time you clean out the pool. You could do that 3 times a week with bananas. They just love it. The best part about the system is that it closes the loop on your homestead. Instead of wasting water or buying chemical fertilizers, you're recycling duck waste into plant food, right? It's that permaculture that I mentioned earlier. You're saving money, reducing runoff, and you're building healthier soil overall. So, if you keep ducks, you already have one of the best natural fertilizers on hand. If you're thinking about adding ducks to your homestead, I have tons of videos on that. You should totally check them out. This is one of the many reasons why they are such a valuable animal. A quick warning though, like I mentioned earlier, some other ones: do not use duck water on plants you're about to harvest raw, like lettuce, herbs, unless you give them a ton of time, at least a few weeks before you pick them. Stick to using it on fruiting perennials like the blackberries and bananas I mentioned in this video, where the edible part is way above the soil line. If your soil already holds a lot of nitrogen, you need to watch for signs of over fertilizing, because you can do that. Too many leafy growths, fewer fruits is, like anything in life, balance is key. They will thank you for it though. Duck water, as a natural compost tea for blackberries and banana trees it's that simple. It's free, it's sustainable, it works wonders on heavy feeding plants. And if you guys found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you've never thought of that before, let me know. Share it with a fellow gardener. Even if you only have a couple of ducks, man, I mean, you don't need a lot to make that. So just a kiddie pool. You see this blue kiddie pool I have over here? You can have a little one like that. We got the giant one over there, but we have some kiddie ones too. If you want more tips on homesteading, gardening, and raising animals, hit that subscribe button and join us here at Diamond Trail Ranch. And until next time, happy gardening, and give your ducks some extra appreciation for feeding your plants.